Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Espero que todos estéis bien today. Sunday evening, 7:30 p.m. Coming to you from a very hot Madrid today. Back into another heat wave, hence the title of today's live stream. And from what I'm gathering in the chat section here, it's fairly hot in other parts of the world as well, especially some parts of the United Kingdom. But here in Spain, absolutely sweltering at the moment. Now, plenty of activity already in the chat section. We've got Scott coming in from Leicester. We've got Oriel coming in from Cape Town, South Africa. Been going to Estepona since 1978 and loves the program. Thank you very much for that, Oriel. We've got Mick coming in from Moreira. We've got Babs coming in from a sunny Wales today. Babs, good to see that there's a bit of sun out in Wales. Try not to get burnt. Mark coming in from Seville. Very hot there today, 41 degrees. Emast coming in from San Diego. We've got Rob coming in telling us about the heatwave alert in the UK. I think London was around 30 degrees Celsius today, so hot for that part of the world. Margaret from Seville as well. Margaret Emma Taylor. Marchena, unusually hot down there. And I had a look at the forecast for the rest of the week. 42, 43 degrees predicted for Tuesday and Wednesday. So we'll have a look at some more chats in a minute. Now we'll get straight into the news, and it's about the heat wave. I think this is the third heat wave that we have had so far this spring-summer season. And we've got a red warning in the Canary Islands for highs of 41 while the rest of the country enters a heat wave. Although temperatures began to rise on Thursday and have already accumulated 3 very hot days with thermometers touching or exceeding the level of 40 degrees in the southern half of the country, the heat wave officially begins in the mainland this Sunday and does so with 5 orange warnings in Andalusia, Castilla-La Mancha, Extremadura, Galicia and Madrid, while 5 other communities, Aragon, Castilla, León, Catalonia, Navarra, La Rioja, have a yellow warning. But the worst, in comparison to its normal values or normal levels, is the Canary Islands, which already entered the heatwave phase on Saturday and where the State Meteorological Agency, the AMET, has activated the first red warning, extreme, the maximum of this intense and long-lasting episode with temperatures of 41 in the east, south and west of Gran Canaria. So hot conditions all around Spain at the moment, or in the majority of the country, and extreme weather conditions there for the Canary Islands, which apparently not usual this time of the year to have such high temperatures in the 40s. So hot weather, hot weather, hot weather. What can we do? And as I said, the third heat wave, I think, to be honest, I've lost count. I think there was one back in May. There was one in June, definitely, which lasted about 10 days. And now this one as well. As we can see, the temperatures are going to be hot all week. So be prepared for that. And if you're coming out to Spain soon, if you're coming out to Spain in the next week or so, be prepared for hot, humid conditions, depending on where you are going to, of course. All right, now what else we got going on here? Julian says hotter than Los Angeles here in Birmingham. Unusual, Julian. Benjamin coming in from Mallorca. Acudia, I think, is the place there. Puerto de Santa Maria. Alan. Hello, Alan. All regular viewers. Good to see everybody back here today. We're up to 128 people watching at the moment. 21 likes. So hit that like button to try and get it up a little bit, please. Got Stephen coming in. Finally made a live session from London. Heatwave there. Alan Edge in the chat as usual. Hola, Estuardo. Hello, Alan. Ricardo telling us that it's too hot to walk the dog today in London, 30 degrees, but he says that people are more chilled when it's hot. Could be the case, Ricardo. The opposite here. When it gets extreme, people lose their chillness, if that's a word, and sometimes can get a little bit aggressive, in my opinion, when the weather's hot for long periods on end, which was the case during the last heat wave. People quite easily irritated, I would say. All right, good. Now let's have a look at the second piece of news today, and it's this one here, also about the extreme temperatures and the effect that it is having here in Spain, and we can see the balance of wildfires in Spain up to June. Almost the same area has burned as in the whole of 2021, so the same total area in terms of kilometres or hectares. The summer has got off to a tragic start for Spanish forests. Fanned by high temperatures, forest fires have burned almost as many hectares by June this year as the whole of 2021, according to data from the European Forest Fire Information System, the EFFIS, and the Ministry for Ecological Transition and Demographic Challenge. The area burned is so large that it is 5 times the average of recent years. European satellites have detected that in the last month alone, more than 62,800 hectares have burned in Spain, with Sierra Bermeja in Malaga, Sierra de la Culebra in Zamora as the main sources. So there we go. Again, a risk for people living in some of those small towns and villages around the country. We saw the fire down there in Sierra Bermeja, just behind Estepona, I think. We also saw the bushfire in Zamora, bushfires in Girona as well, bushfires all around the country, and of course burning a lot of hectares, and the hot weather to blame, all these heat extremes that we have having with strong winds fanning the fires, and very, very difficult to put out. So if you are traveling around Spain this year, be careful. Keep an eye out for wildfires or bushfires. Don't go near them. Stay away, because they do move very, very quickly. We saw the case the other day of a bus, I think, that was almost trapped in a bushfire. I think it was here in Madrid. Can't remember exactly where it was, but I think it was in Madrid that they took the wrong route and ended up very close to a bushfire, which could have been tragic for the people on that bus. So be careful driving here in Spain, especially on some of the secondary roads this summer. Keep an eye out for bushfires. All right, what else we got going on? Chris coming in, sweltering in the Valle del Sol, sweltering everywhere. Brian coming in from the humid Alicante, saying that he enjoyed the video of Asturias that I did. I released the videos on Friday and Saturday of my time up there in Spain's green Asturias, a very nice part of the world. Dave, St. Pete de Madrid coming in. Feliz Domingo a todos. Yes, happy Sunday to you all. Steve coming in from England, I suppose, and says definitely a nice place to live. Asturias looked great. That food and wine amazing, and around £50 looked delicious. I've had some people say that the meal was expensive, that it was an expensive meal. And I don't know what's an expensive meal anymore. Obviously, if you don't have the menu del dia, if you pay a la carte prices, I think that's more or less what you pay, with wine included. It was a local bottle of wine as well. It was not the cheapest wine on the menu. It was around €15 a bottle, or 16, I think. But for 2 people with dessert, €60 I think was reasonable for a menu for a restaurant like that one. And the food was very tasty, which was the most important thing. You can get cheaper, but again, is the quality going to be the same? That's the question. All right, good. Now, back into the news. What else we got going on here? A new political party has popped up with Yolanda Díaz, the work minister, I think, or the Labour minister in charge, and she's presented Sumar as a citizens' movement seeking a new social contract. Sumar is now a reality, and it started with a successful event that overwhelmed its organisers. Several thousand people stood in the sun on a hot Friday afternoon in a square in Madrid's Matadero Cultural Centre to listen to Yolanda Díaz and cheer her on by shouting, "President!" And she gave them a first speech in which she encouraged everyone to participate in a new social contract, in which the hyper-rich have to contribute like everyone else, which involves extending democracy to the world of the economy, to companies, to taxes. So the new left-wing political movement, I would say, which is called Sumar, and the idea is to get all of these small left-wing political parties here in Spain on board into this group. Hence the name Sumar, which is to join, Sumas al Proyecto. And she's confident that she can get the left in the same group, on the same page, with the same ideas, and be in a coalition government with the PSOE for a long time to come. Don't know whether that's possible or not, but that's the idea, I think. And as I said, she's currently the Minister for Labour, and she's starting this new project, and her popularity levels are quite high. I think she's the second, or sometimes the first, but the most highly valued politician in this country, or at least she was up until recently. I think she's been overtaken by the new leader of the opposition party, the PP, I think, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because as we know, political parties, small political parties, normally burn out after a relatively short amount of time. We've seen it with the Citizens Party recently. We've seen it with Vox, that hasn't been able to gather the votes that they needed in some parts of the country, Andalusia especially. And we saw it a few years ago with another political party. I can't remember the name of the party, but it also disappeared and died a slow death. So we'll see what happens to this new political movement called Sumar. All right, back into the chat section. Amanda coming in from the UK, unusually hot there. That seems to be what people are saying. Sunny Swansea, Shohim and Bailey, 27 degrees, or 27-ish. Everybody's trying to keep cool, says Dave, having a nice cold beer, Turia Cerveza. Quite popular now, that beer. I hadn't seen it up until recently, Turia. I think it's from Valencia. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave. Let me know if that is the case. Nico coming in from Barcelona. What else? Bernie coming in from a hot UK. Stan coming in from Poland. Any idea, any update on the weather there, Stan? Hot in Poland as well. Sunny Donegal, Mora. Jose Antonio coming in from the Royal City. Too hot to sleep tonight. Absolutely too hot to sleep. It will be tonight. You might have to have the air conditioner or the fan on all night long. Athes coming in from Barcelona. We've got El Davido coming in, maybe from somewhere in Spain as well. Regular viewer Mugga here also. What else we got going on? Gino coming in. Hello, Gino. Valladolid, Julia says, forecast this week is also over 41. Can be quite hot there in Valladolid, Julia. So try to keep cool. Maybe go for a dip in the river there. That nice little beach area that you have on the river there in Valladolid. Maybe go for a dip or head up to Asturias maybe. A bit cooler up there. And Renee saying ridiculously hot in south central Texas. So hot everywhere, I think, is what we can take away from this. Now, we'll have a look at... Actually, we won't have a look at any more news because I'll save it for tomorrow. But we'll have a look at a first comment. And it's this one here from Malcolm. It says, hi Stu, what a difference from Murcia. Just shows the differences in climate from north to east. Obviously referring to the video that I posted yesterday from Asturias. And just showing the difference between the hot, dry parts of the country, especially down there. Alicante, desert-like conditions. Malaga, very hot as well. The centre of Spain, very dry and brown. And of course, you go up into that northern area and everything is green and cool. And it makes for a nice change, exactly. And I would recommend anybody who's suffering the heat down there in Alicante or Murcia, those hot parts of the country, if you want a couple of days away in cooler temperatures, hop in the car, head to Asturias, head to Galicia, head to one of those mountainous regions up there in the north, the mountains in Leon, the Picos de Europa, Cantabria. Get away from the heat, do yourself a favour and enjoy that part of the country. I highly recommend it, and it's one of the reasons I try to go every year somewhere north rather than south, because it's hot here. It's even hotter in some of those other parts of the country, Murcia especially, hot part of the country. All right, good. Gino says that his fiancée Isabella says hi. Hello, Isabella. Hope all is well. Miguel coming in from Derbyshire here today. I think I pronounced it correctly today, Miguel. Rusty coming in from Georgia. Barcelona is a sauna in June, says Miguel. That is true. We got Osuakat coming in from Oregon. Only 81 degrees Fahrenheit here. I don't really understand Fahrenheit, Osuakat, so you might have to put that into Celsius for me. I know that someone's going to say that it's just a basic calculation, but I've never really got my head around Fahrenheit, considering that I've been a Celsius guy all my life. Byron coming in from the States, I think. Byron, enjoyed the show yesterday. Thank you very much. John coming in from El Campello. And Lacey coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. Dan coming in from... I don't know where Dan's coming in from, but, London. And he says that he is enjoying the heat, maybe the only one. Don't know. I think a few people are enjoying the heat today in the south of the United Kingdom. And as we saw earlier, I think it was Ricardo that said that people are more chilled, people are chilled out or less stressed when the weather's hot, when the weather's better, let's say. All right, good. Now we'll have a look at another comment. Let's have a look at this one here from PC Tutorial Kid. Hi, Stu. What do you think about the reform proposed by Escrivá for the new Quota de Autónomos? Seems like it's going to suffocate the already struggling autónomos. Seems completely unfair, and the left is gaslighting us to believe that making it progressive is somehow more fair and just. How will it affect me? How will it affect you, he asks. Do you think it's actually going to pass? It's completely ludicrous. I hope a future PP government could avoid this or reverse it if it goes ahead. Yes, this is the new proposal that was put on the table the other day by the government, maybe last week, maybe the week before, that in 2023 the quota system is either going to go up or down depending on how much you earn. We'll get an idea of what the quotas are going to be like next year and the year before if this goes ahead. I'm not sure whether it has been approved or not, but we'll have a look. And we can see here that basically if you're making less or exactly 670 euros a month, if that is your net income as a self-employed person per month, your Social Security quota is going to be 230 euros. But the good news for people that earn that amount of money is that it's going down 64 euros a month. So the government is going to say, look, we're lowering it for low-income earners. Exactly. That's what they're going to say. If you're between 670 and 900, you're going to be paying 44 euros less because you're only going to be paying 250. Now you pay 294. And again, if you're making between 900 and 1,225 and 90 cents, don't know what the 90 cents is there for, but anyway, you're also going to be paying less Social Security, 270 instead of 294. And if you make between 1,225 and 90 cents and between 1,300 euros, you're going to also be paying less per month, 4 euros less per month. So that's the positive. If you earn between 670 and 1,300 euros, you're going to be paying less Social Security. However, things start to turn in the other direction for people that earn above 1,300 euros. So we can see this one here. From 1,300 to 1,500, you're going to be paying the same. From 1,500 to 1,700, you're going to be paying the same also. But if you are earning between 1,700 and 1,850, you're going to be paying 56 euros more a month. And as we can see, those that the mores, for example, go up 76, 96, 121, 146, 171, 112, 236, 212. So basically, the majority of people, I would say, are going to be paying more Social Security as of 2023. This is the government's idea. I don't think it's been agreed on yet, but we'll see. And of course, that's going to be progressive until 2031, where it's going to go up even more on a yearly basis. So basically, we'll just have a look here quickly that if you're, let's say, for example, you're earning 2,000 euros a month as a self-employed person, okay, in the hand, so after tax, we can see here that you're going to be paying 96 euros more per month for Social Security, and on a yearly basis, it's around 1,153. So basically, to answer the question here put forward by PC Tutorial Kid, the majority of people are going to be paying more, including myself. And to be honest, I'm not happy. I don't want to be paying more. I think I pay enough as it is. Something around, just under 300 euros a month, which for me is a lot of money. Again, if you're earning 1,000 euros a month or 1,500 euros a month, it's a big chunk of your salary. It's around 30%. If you're earning 1,000, so again, you have to pay your tax on top of that as well, which is around 20% for self-employed. So I think we're going to be worse off, to be honest, but not much I can do about it because it's out of my hands. It's between the government and the Self-Employed People's Association. As we can see here, do I think that the PP will reverse it? Don't know, because a lot of the times once these things become law, they don't go back, unfortunately, especially when it comes to this type of tax and social security contributions and things like that. I don't know whether it will be turned around. We'll have to wait and see if it is a proposal from Mr. Feijóo for the elections next year. We'll see. But basically, the majority of people, I think, are going to be paying more if you are self-employed in this country. All right, back into the chat section. Heatwave continues, says Gino. Shortage of cervezas in Spain. Well, the price of beer at the moment, Gino, is ridiculous. I went to the supermarket yesterday, and a litre of beer, a litre of the local beer here, the Mau beer, Mau, M-O-H-O-U, the local Madrid beer, was €1.60 for a litre. And I remember paying last year around 120 or 130 max, but 160 in the supermarket yesterday. In another supermarket, 158. So around that €1.60 mark. So expensive to have a beer at the moment, Gino. What else we got going on? We've got Roland coming in from Germany. Hello, Roland. Hope all is well. The sound quiet tonight, Stu, says Mark. Not sure what the problem is. Maybe it's a problem at your end. It seems to be the same for me. I'm looking at my cadence bars up there. They seem to be in the normal place, Mark. So not sure what the problem is there. But if anybody else is noticing a problem with the sound quality, let me know. Kathleen says, very hot in St Andrews, where the 150th Open Golf Championship is beginning. The town is full. Good to see that the town is full for that. Probably been a little bit down the last few years because of the pandemic, but back to normal there, where the 150th Open Golf Championship is beginning. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? We saw Wimbledon today. Nick Kyrgios couldn't get the advantage on Novak Djokovic, and 6 Wimbledons now for Djokovic, or 7, 21 Grand Slams. Will he be known as the greatest tennis player of all time, or male tennis player of all time? That's the question. What's his limit when it comes to Grand Slams, Djokovic? How many can he win? 23, 24, 25, 26? I don't know. Where's the competition coming from? Rafa looks to be busted, so I don't know how many more he's got left in him, but maybe it'll be open for Djokovic to take as many as he wants over the next couple of years. We'll see. We'll see. Bab says that 3 courses with wine for 2 people. I thought it was reasonable, Babs. I thought it was reasonable, like yourself there. Somebody said it was expensive. In fact, a couple of people said it was expensive. I don't think so. But anyway, it's what it is. Del Bosquebe says, bushfire really used in Spain sounds very Australian. No, well, that's where I'm from. That's the word that I use, bushfire. I think we understand what it means. Bushfire, forest fire, wildfire. I think we understand. Jerry says, Ola from Perth, the original Scottish one. Yes, up there in Perthshire in Scotland. Not the one where I come from down there in Australia, but we share the same name of a city or a town. That's exactly right. What else we got going on here in the chat section? If I can find one, let's have a look. Conversation going on about The heatwave, of course. What else we got, Gev? City Fan says, so many left-wing parties, and we have even more in Catalonia. That's true. Well, the idea is to put them all together, City Fan, as that's Ms. Diaz's objective, to try to get them all in the same boat, which historically hasn't been easy to do. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to be easy to do this time around, because the left has always been a complicated side of politics, as we know. So we'll see if she can get them all rowing in the same direction. We will see. What else we got going? Craphead or Tony in Cuenca says the word sumar means to add or count, so it's a rubbish name for a political party, in his opinion. What can we do? That's the name that they have chosen, sumar al proyecto, to get on board, I think is what they mean here, rather than sumar like adding up. 1 + 1 is 2, and I think they mean to get on board, I think would be the translation, or at least that's how I would translate it, rather than to add up. I think it's to join together, to come together, I think would be the translation. ¿Te sumas al proyecto? Sí, sumo. All right, good. Now have a look at another chat here, or another comment from the other day from Steve-O. He says, do you want the bus driver taking your kids to school still high on weed? This was a conversation that we had last Thursday, where I think we saw that Spain's biggest illegal marijuana crop was busted by the Civil Guard in Girona or somewhere up there, I think. And we had the debate about whether we legalize marijuana or decriminalize marijuana in this country, considering all of the illegal crops that are flying around, and how it's become a big under-the-table business for a lot of people, let's be honest. And do you get it out in the open? Do you legalize it? Do you get the government getting taxes on it? That was the question. And Steve-O was asking the question here, do you want your bus driver taking your kids to school still high on weed? Well, the answer to that is no, obviously, in the same way that I don't want him having a chupito before he gets in the bus in the morning, which is what some bus drivers do or used to do back in the day. I think it's a lot more controlled nowadays, but you would quite often see 15, 20 years ago, truck drivers and bus drivers after lunch having a chupito. So do I want them drunk or do I want them on drugs? Definitely not. But when it comes to these things, I think it's better to get it out in the open, get the revenue from it, rather than have it under the table constantly and people living from illegal gains. And as we saw the other day, the police services working overtime trying to bust these massive crops. I can't remember exactly how big the one the other day was, but I think it was a 32-hectare marijuana crop. So imagine the money that could have been made from that. Just putting it out there. But Steve-O says that he doesn't want anybody taking his kids to school that could be affected by any type of drugs. Absolutely, but control and education, in my opinion. Now we're up to 116 likes. We'll see if we can get up to 150 in the couple of minutes that we've got left. So if you haven't hit that like button yet, please hit it there below, and we'll see if we can get up to 150. Couple of minutes more to go. We won't go too long today, so we'll see if we can get it up to 150. Purdue coming in from Indianapolis. Hello. Oriel says, tell us about the pictures on your wall. Reminds me of Portugal. Well, the pictures on the wall, the three that I have. So, for example, this one here is Lisbon. This one here is also Lisbon. And this one here is a place called Peniche. We can see the typical tram there in Lisbon. I think it's one of the most famous trams, the one that goes up to an emblematic part of the city. I can't remember the name of the tram, maybe tram number 1 or something like that. But if you've been to Lisbon, you've probably been on that tram. It's a popular tourist tram as well. And they do bring back memories of Portugal. I took them there a few years ago when I went down to Lisbon, and a very nice city to photograph, in my opinion. All right, Jesus has put here that right, good, thanks. The political party that disappeared, UPD, Unión Progreso and Democracia. I remember, yes, Rosa Díaz, I think, was the lady who was in charge of that party, and Tony Cantó was also a member of that party as well. I think he's now in the Partido Popular, so he's a real political party hopper, is Tony Cantó. But thanks for reminding me there, Jesus, of the name of that party, Unión, Progreso and Democracia, which, as we know, are no more. So, again, we'll see what happens with this new political movement that Ms. Diaz is going to lead over the next few months and years. All right, Dave says that, yes, the beer is from Valencia. I thought it was. Yeah, I bought some a couple of weeks ago, Dave, so I did try it. Not too bad. It's quite a strong beer, I think. It's similar to like a Voldam beer. Quite strong, around the 6%, 6.5% mark. El Davido says that he's roasting in Camposol, Murcia. Never used the pool so much, but shouldn't complain. Roasting everywhere at the moment, but luckily you've got a pool there, so you can cool down. What else we got going on here? She invests, she saves, he invests, they travel. Escaping the heat a little bit in Barcelona and Zaragoza. Have to return to Madrid on the 15th and worried that the mother-in-law is not going to have a good time in Madrid due to the heat. Can be a problem when people that come to Madrid that are not used to it, because Madrid is a city that stays hot for a long time. The concrete absorbs the heat all day, and it takes a long time to cool down. But hopefully you've got air conditioning, and your mum can find some escape there, hopefully. Now, we'll have a quick look here. We're up to 144 likes, almost at 150. We'll see if we can get there. Like button smashed. Thank you very much for that. Brian Butler, hi from Barcelona. Hello, Brian. How are you? Mark Tilley coming in from Northampton, England. Tranqui Troquista, I think that's the name. Hot in Castilla-La Mancha. Yes. 40 degrees down there as well. Hot everywhere at the moment. So it's hot, hot, hot. And no relief in sight, unfortunately. No relief in sight, fortunately. But what can we do? What can we do? All right, good. We're up to 151. Now, I'm going to cut the live stream short. So thank you very much for your participation today. Thank you very much for everybody who has written something in the chat section. Sorry if I didn't get around to mentioning everybody there, but time is a constraint, of course. And thank you, everybody, for watching the live stream today. I'll be back with a normal video tomorrow, another live stream on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. Hope everybody has a fantastic rest of the day, and hasta luego.